Hello everybody, this is James Shore with another test-driven development video. I'm recording this on April 4th, 2012, but I'm going to be putting it up on my website on April 19th, which means that this is your last opportunity to register for my Art of Agile Bootcamp, which is next week, April 23rd to the 27th. And for those of you who are sick of hearing me talk about it, this is the last time I'll mention it, so thanks for your patience. This course is, if you haven't had a chance to register it, and you want a chance to see Agile in all its glory, not just the watered down stuff that everybody else does, talking about sprints and scrums and yada, 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 but real rigorous Agile where we're not just doing iterations or sprints, and we're not just doing stand-up meetings, but we're also doing really good cross-functional collaboration. We're doing we're doing incremental development. We're doing evolutionary design. We're figuring out how to communicate with stakeholders. We're actually saying that we can make predictions about the future, which some people seem to think you can't do. All that is what we're covering next week. So I hope to see you there. It's in New York City, artofagilenyc.com. And that's the last time I'll mention it. So thanks again for your patience. So last time we were doing pretty good, actually. Let's make sure all of our tests are running. It's been a few hours since I recorded the last video, so started Eclipse over again. Need to get everything up and running. So let's get that going. Okay, everything's working. 4.8, that's kind of a long test run, though. There's our spurious failure. I don't know what to do about that. If anybody out there has an idea, please let me know. Those kind of things always happen in a test suite. You always get a few of them, and it's hard to say why, but they always show up. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's try running the whole darn thing on the event thread. Let's see, where is that failure? Yeah. So we're going to do the whole thing using invoke and wait, and that should be pretty straightforward. All right. Well, it passed, but that doesn't tell us anything because it doesn't always show up. So I guess we'll just have to leave that in there for a while. Let's make a note that this was put in place in episode, what are we on? 183. If it hasn't recurred by episode 200, assume it's fixed. Yeah, we'll have to. Oh, and if it is that's a really good sign that we need to put it in place for all of our swing tests. Okay. Huh. Well, I guess I don't know how to spell recurred, or there's something wrong with the dictionary, but whatever. Okay, so now that we've got that working, what should we do next? I think so we've been working on persistence for a long time. I don't know, maybe episode 150 or so. But again, each episode's only 15 minutes, so it's not as long as it seems. But and despite really wanting to finish it up, I do think we have more work to do before we're done. And I don't want to shortchange ourselves in a hurry to get it done. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I want to work on this save dialog class. Application frame test is just getting a little bit large, so I think we should factor out the save dialog class from application frame. Not 100% sure about that, but reasonably sure. So let's go ahead and give that a try. The main reason I want to factor it out is because these tests are getting really large. The actual production code is not so bad. It's pretty good, in fact. But I mean, here's the save dialog related test code or code right here. That's not so bad. But if we look at the application frame test code, this is not just for this. Well, this actually, I think this is for the save dialog. That's the save dialog. That's all the way up to here, but not including the invocation stuff. That's all save dialog testing. And then this is making sure that the save dialog shows up, and that I think we'll probably want to keep here. But regardless, that's a fair chunk of code, and this test is pretty long and complicated. So I think I want to move that out. And also application frame, we don't want it to be a grab bag. We don't want it to handle everything. We want it to be more of a traffic cop. We want it to load up everything and make sure everything's running, but we don't need it to be doing the logic itself. So the fact that we've got save dialog logic in here feels to me like it's not quite the right thing. So I think the way I'm going to approach this is by starting out creating a save dialog class. Now, how do I want to do that? Right now, the save dialog is what? How do we even make the save dialog? It's a file dialog. So we're going to want to extend file dialog. Now, last time we extended something, we came into problems. So when refactoring from one swing class to another, check usage of all swing APIs. I think that was from one swing leaf class to another. Yeah, so just extending file dialog and making our own dialog, that should work okay, I think. Let's go ahead and do that, see what happens. And we're going to need a constructor. What do we use now? So I think we'll just want the frame. Okay, that should all work because I'm not even using the new class. Now, that's going to have to pass through because we're not passing it into the constructor. That still all work because I'm not using this class yet. But now, this should be strictly replaceable for file dialog in this scenario. So let's try that. And that should still pass all the tests. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's looking pretty promising. Okay, are we using save as dialog anywhere else? Well, yeah, we're using it in lots of places. Oops. But it doesn't look like we're constructing it anywhere else. So now let's move the do save into that method. Into that class, I mean. Let's copy it over to start with. We'll need a model. Okay, that should still pass because we're not calling the new method. Oh, except here we have to pass in the model. All right, that's good. And now we can factor this code in. Let's factor this out, actually, because I want to keep save as menu item inside of application frame. So let's, oh, but first, actually, I'm not calling the new code yet. I need to call save as dialog dot do save. And that's not going to work because this is not the correct type, but that should work. There we go. Now that that's working, we can factor this method out. We'll call this method, what do we want to call it? Well, we'll call it display for now. That should still work. It's exactly the same. Yep. And now we'll copy it into here, make it public. That should still work. I'm not calling it yet. All right. Now we'll call it. Okay, that's working fine. Now we can get rid of these old methods, which we don't need anymore. Did not work. What did I do wrong? Oh, the test doesn't work. Okay, let's bring that back for the moment. Okay, so we don't need this. And this can just forward on to save as dialog.doSave for the moment. Still doesn't work. Okay, what did I do wrong? We'll back this up. Now it should work. It does. Okay. We'll come back to that one, I think. Okay, we've got all the code moved over, but we haven't moved over the tests, so that's what we're going to do next. And we'll have to do that next time. So thanks for watching, everybody. I will catch you next time.